Welcome to another episode, everyone. How inmates are turned out in U.S. prisons. Now, pay attention because this does happen behind the walls. For those who do not know, I've done over 30 years of incarceration, and I've seen many grown, strong men come in and turn into women within a matter of days. Within 1 week, they're walking around holding someone's belt buckle. So you have to be careful. And we want to keep you from this thing. I don't talk about this stuff often because I don't like to. But it does happen, and I have to be honest with y'all and give you ways and tools on how to avoid these predators behind the walls.
This video is to all you youngsters who like to go to prison. This is going to happen to you. They're going to make you a punk.
I'm not complaining. They don't have to give me another uniform. I'm going to keep I feel like they trying to turn me into something. I'm a punk, or whatever. As she say, I'm a punk.
Do I get your booty, or do I gotta break your neck? Booty, man. And then choke him again. And then, you know what he tell him? Then he starts take one hand and start digging in his butt, letting the dude know what he wants. And then he say, which one? Do I get to break your neck? I get your booty. You make the choice. His ass was juicy, bro. I'm talking about that motherfucking shit was juicy, motherfucker.
Oh.
And I won't pay.
Okay, I'm going to have to skip by a couple of these parts.
Drawers down.
But what the hell?
Open up your ass and spin your...
Okay, gonna skip past this one too. They just explaining about some spitting game they got going on.
I said, what if we rape you right now? How will you like that?
He started crying and begging and pleading. You know what I'm saying? Mark, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be gay. I don't want to. But at this time, you know what I'm saying, I'm out of control. I don't want to hear nothing, no talk.
My little brother, he jump up and he slap him real hard. And he done got serious because he really wanted to be with this person all alone.
I tell him to turn around. So he turns, he moves slightly. I tell him to turn around again. He still doesn't want to turn all the way around. So I said, bitch, if I have to tell you to turn around one more time, I'll break your jaw. So he turns around.
Like put his hands against the wall, like spread them like the police.
Put his hands against the wall and spread them. Yeah, if I gotta tell you to turn around one more time, I'm gonna break your jaw. Well, you just got to go ahead and do that, people. You know, if you find yourself there in prison and you find someone like this predator here coming upon you, trying to divest you of your manhood, just disallow it. If he threatens to do physical harm, then the best recourse is to go on the offensive, to attack him first. As soon as you feel like you are in danger, your manhood is in danger, your life is in danger, any of that, just attack the individual and go for parts of the body that's going to cause damage and shut him, the eyes, try to take his eyes out, hit him in the eyes and all that, stuff like that. But you have to fight back, even if you're scary, in order to save yourself. Don't go for this. Don't say, okay, he said he threatens to break your jaw. This is not some big old imposing individual here, even if he were. Find the nearest thing that you can that's not attached to something that's loose and swing it at him and hit him upside the head.
I tell him to take his pants off. He doesn't want to do it. I punch him in the face. You know what I'm saying? I squeeze his ass cheeks. 2 handfuls. He tenses up. So I take my pants off. I mean, he's just sitting here the whole time. I give him the grease. And I tell him to put some on his finger.
Oh, man. Okay, let me go past this something, man.
He had grease on his fingernail.
Oh, my God. Hold on.
Closer than a lot of families on the street. We live together, we sleep together, we shower together, we use the bathroom together. Most families can at least close the door.
I woke up, first thing I wanted to see was him. Before I went to bed at night, the last thing I wanted to see was him. I love him.
I I'm just a dude that likes dudes.
I'm just a dude that like dude. I love him. First thing I wanted to see was him. The last thing I wanted to see was him. These individuals will fall in love with you and delude themselves into believing that they are in a full-blown relationship, a consensual relationship between a man and a woman or whatever, or in this case, a man and a man, but they believe that it's consensual and that it's okay. Even though they broke you, even though you were not this way when you came in, they graped you and now made you their girl. So this is not what you wanted. This is not your lifestyle, but you've been forced into it. And this is assault. This is SA, just so that we're clear. And my belief is that this should be treated no different than SA on the street. An individual that comes to prison for SA and a woman on the street or a man or anything else, SA period, then he's going to be brutalized there in prison. Well, the logic is the same. If you're assaulting someone there in prison, they do not want this. They're saying that they do not want this, and you do it anyway. You're a predator, and you should be brutalized. The same way that an individual that comes in from the street is brutalized. But it's pretty much changing in prison. People look at this sort of stuff differently now. It used to be more acceptable, but now it is not. It is absolutely frowned upon.
That's how I am. I am an openly gay person.
I look better dressed than I've ever worn, but a lot of women say I look good as a man. Well, they say both, but I think I look good as a female because I look more like my mama when I dressed up.
And this is Shamia.
Where the hood niggas at? Where's the hood niggas at? I'm looking for the hood niggas. Come on, come with me.
You just got your cheeks busted in prison, and that's absolutely outrageous. Let's talk about something nobody actually prepares you for before you go to prison. Not your lawyer, not your family, not the intake officer who processes your paperwork. Nobody sits you down and says, here is what can happen to you in the first week if you walk in there without understanding how this works. So let me be that person. The moment you step onto that unit, you are being evaluated. Not by the guards, by the inmates. And they are very, very good at it. They've had nothing but time to study people. They can read a new arrival in 60 seconds, the way you walk, whether your eyes are moving or locked to the floor, whether you flinch when someone gets close, whether you respond when someone talks to you, or whether you look for an exit. Every single thing you do in those first hours is information, and the wrong people are collecting it. You don't get a grace period. You don't get time to figure out the social structure before someone tries to exploit it. For some people, the targeting starts the first night. And here's the part that messes people up the most.
They got Charles White in this thing, man.
It doesn't start with it. That's the moment it begins.
Yeah, look at this.
I'll make sure you have something to eat every night. You know, I'll make sure you have something to smoke. I'll make sure you have some coffee. But I'm not.
See? And this is how they do it. This is how they break you in. The same way you will with a female. You know, these women out here on the street, you gotta make 6 figures. Take me out. You gotta take me here. Better not take me to Olive Garden. They're selling themselves. And so these individuals, they give them some stuff, give them some crumbs or whatever to get them. It's easy because of the way that they're putting themselves out there. These individuals here in prison will break you down by feeding you, giving you stuff, as he's alluding to here, give you coffee, give you top ramens, give you letter writing material, give you stamps, give you some tennis shoes, whatever. And they're just trying to break you in. This is why you hear a lot of individuals say that they don't even accept anything from individuals in prison, no matter what it is. They just don't accept it because now individuals feel like you are in their debt. And they want you to repay them some way. And oftentimes, if they sense some sort of weakness in you, then this is how you have to repay them, by doing some sort of favors. Again, another form of SA.
Not never giving it to him directly. He's getting it from one of my boys. And for me, my boys get my boys. You know what I'm saying? They tell them the type of person I am, you know what I'm saying? The benefits that they have being with me. You know, then I cut him off. I cut his supply off. You know what I'm saying? Now I give him time to think about it. You know what I'm saying? He was getting free dope. He was getting free whiskey. He was getting eating every night. He was smoking every night. And then he was getting free sex. Now he don't get none of that no more. And to be able to get that, then this is what he got to do.
They know if they could get me and they could invest a little bit, the way the game goes, I owe them then. It happens all the time. They could pimp me out, you know, and make, you know, triple, you know, make more money like that than what they've invested. So for me to live clean and have what I like, I guess when I started hanging around Mark and Mendenhall, they did that.
In order to survive in there, I basically...
What the hell? So he's saying that he's consenting to it. He said in order to survive in there. So it's not always a situation where it's SA, where these dudes are, I mean, it's still predatory behavior. They're still doing things to break you in and this and that, but this individual easily folded. He ended up succumbing to and said, well, I have to survive. So these individuals are feeding him cigarettes and food or what have you, and then eventually said, well, this is what you have to do in order to pay it back, you know, and for us to continue to give this stuff to you. And he said, okay. And said that they can pimp me out. What? No. You don't have to go for that. He's doing this willingly.
Had to become someone's prison wife, as they call it. Man, oh man, nothing scares me more than the words prison wife. I was young, slim, good looking, and completely inexperienced to doing time. My cellie, he was solid muscle, so he started taking advantage of me. What can I say? It was awful in the beginning, but I got used to it. I know that it could have been a whole lot worse for me, so I'm not bitter. At least he treated me pretty good, never hit me or anything like that. I mean, I was treated with at least some degree of respect, and he never shared me with any other inmates, thankfully. But this is something very real. Typically, when you get...
What the hell? He sounded like a female. At least he didn't hit me. At least he treated me very well. I just went on and went for it. It could have been worse. At least he didn't, cheat on me or share me with the other inmates. No, man, this is what I'm saying, that sometimes these individuals, they'll break. This is a broken individual. This is someone who at first, probably had it taken from him, or the individual was trying to take it, and then he just, as he said, ended up getting used to it. Ended up saying, okay, being okay with it, sanctioning this sort of behavior, partaking in it, and not resisting. That's why, no. Nip it in the bud from the very beginning. Anyone ever comes at you like that, you handle that situation from the start and let that be known, that's never going to happen.
Turned out, the individual who initially did it, he'll start selling you off to other inmates, pimping you out. Get turned out, come out the next day in skin-tight jeans. Next thing you know, he's going from cell to cell. It really happens. I'm well aware that there's going to be people on here who are going to clown me and point fingers. I don't really give a f***. What happened to me happens to a lot of men in lockup. I'm just one of the few who has a heart to admit it. They even have a name for the type of situations like this I was in. It's called protective pairing. I've never heard of this. For some of the guys in there who aren't as strong, becoming a punk is the only way to guarantee your safety. And that is 100% true, man. The things people do to make sure that they're safe is limitless. I mean, they'll do anything.
First of all, right, if he's a newcomer, right,
it does happen, man, but that's not how you guarantee your safety. That's why those individuals, they're not even allowed on the level 4 yard. You're going to have to guarantee your safety. You're just going to have to be strong. No one is going to protect you. You're going to have to protect yourself. And trying to become someone's girl in order to be protected is not going to work either. You're going to have to protect yourself.
Suck my ass with jelly, what they call toss the salad. That's the slang word, toss the salad. It means sucking my ass, right?
Oh.
With jelly.
With jelly? Oh, man. Damn. What the? Okay, man. That's it, man. That's it, dog. That's it. This dude crashing out. This dude tripping. Somebody sucking it, not licking it. Somebody sucking it with jelly. Weirdo. And then, what is he on the main line or something? Can't be. I don't know what this dude was at. That was an old clip, clearly. You can see this is an old clip, but still. These dudes, they had a stake somewhere, man. They in some other, because, the dude there was saying, that's from old boy from Lockdown, 23-1, was saying that it does happen, that these individuals will end up pimping you out and this and that. That doesn't happen in the California prison. Someone will try you in certain spaces if you're not careful, but just nip that in the bud immediately. That's the way to handle it. Someone comes at you in any way that you feel is inappropriate, then you may have to get physical right then and there on the spot, even if you're wrong, even if you may be mistaken, but it seems that way. If this is how this individual is coming at you, then, hey, you got to do what you got to do. That's the YouTube channel, The Dimension of Doom right there. Shout out to The Dimension of Doom. There you have it, man. Just stay out, stay free, and then you don't have to worry about this. They do have these situations in prison. As you can see, some of these individuals go in there, and we've seen multiple situations right there where they end up just apparently being okay with it. Or at least while they're there, like the individual who had written that letter, he's probably not on the street that way, but he said that Sully was doing it to him. He just got used to it, and he said it could have been worse. He didn't share me with other inmates, and he treated me okay. Huh? So what now? You on the street doing what? You married to a female? Like this never happened? Like, ladies, you be careful too. That's wild work, man. No, don't allow anyone to do that to you. It's not going to be multiple individuals trying to attack you. It's going to be one individual trying to come at you and crack them upside the head with something and get him up off of you. That's it. Stay safe and stay free, people.